next Wednesday, training camp starts, and obviously we will be out there bringing you the best coverage out there here in Houston sports. But a little bit on our mind heading into it. Yesterday we kind of talked about some of the rookies to watch. What about the free agents to watch, Clint? And you can jump into 713-572-4610, YouTube and Twitch. Who are some of the free agents? You know them, the guys that the Texans have brought in. Who are some of the free agents that you have in mind?
Vets.
That you are hopefully just single vets, but that you are hoping to really watch to see what they're going to bring to this team.
Man, there's several of them, Ron. I think when you look at Gardner Johnson, the C.J. Gardner Johnson, the one that they brought in from was at Philly last year.
Yep.
Going to play that safety nickel position, can do kind of a little bit of a hybrid on the defensive side of the ball. Great playmaker. E.J. Speed at the linebacker position. You don't sign a guy like that. I don't think you sign a guy like that for a depth player. I think you sign a guy like that to be a contributor. I think Christian Kirk is huge right there in the slot opposite Nico Collins and trying to fill the shoes of Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell. Nick Chubb could be an absolute, organization type changer if he is anywhere close to what he's been in the past. Couple him with Joe Mixon, it could be a problem. But I've got to go directly to the biggest, what I think is the biggest need on this team, and that was interior offensive line. They didn't sign anybody, Ron, that really blows your skirt up and goes, hell yeah, we went out there and we addressed the needs, baby. Let's rock and roll. They did sign a guy named Laken Tomlinson, and if you look, D'Amico Ryans spent some time with him in San Francisco. He has been a part of some offensive lines that at least have the mentality that you hope to create here in Houston, the physicality, the accountability, the team approach kind of deal. So I got to go with Laken Tomlinson. The left guard, or what's expected to be the left guard. I think there's more on his plate than just being the left guard for this team. I think he is the one that the tip of the spear, if you will, in a sense of like changing from the Laramie Tunsil mentality to a little bit more workmanlike, a little bit more accountability, a little bit more physicality approach. And he plays a position in today's football where if you can't protect and if you can't get push in a run game from the inside out, you're going to have a hard time winning football games when it matters the most. So I got to go with Laken Tomlinson as the biggest veteran free agent ad this year.
It was the worst position on the field for the Texans last year. I would argue, question. I believe left guard was the worst position. And when you take a look at how many guys did they run through there? And eventually they were forced to move their right tackle, who they paid to play right tackle.
Yeah.
The guy who said, I am a right tackle, not going anywhere else. They had to move him over there. They went through Kenyon Green. They went through Juice Scruggs, I think, got a hit over there. Patterson got a hit over there. They ran through it all before they settled in on their right tackle. So that's a big one. I'm going to go a little selfish.
Okay.
Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
That is somebody right off the bat that it seemed that I won't even say skeptical. I would say that it felt like I was higher on Christian Kirk from the jump than maybe others were. And I do. I feel like if Christian Kirk can stay healthy and the C.J. Stroud from more year one is around, I feel like he is going to be a volume player.
No question.
For this team and a big time piece for this team right there. And we saw what he did for when he was healthy for Trevor Lawrence in the slot. And it's not just, him being able to move the change, which I think he has a real big ability to do that. There is some chunk play in there, at least, when he's been really at his best and healthy. So Christian Kirk, to me, is a really, really interesting free agent. Obviously, the up front is more important because you can't do no Christian Kirk stuff without it. But I do, and you've talked about it. You think Christian Kirk, a slot guy, can help protection, and can help with a lot of things. So I think for me, I was really high on him, and I kind of want to be right.
Well, look, the Christian Kirk ad is without a doubt huge for the Texans. You're talking about a guy that's a true slot that sees the game through the quarterback lens, that could be an answer in pressure situations, which would not just take pressure off of C.J. Stroud, but the offensive line as well. And we talk about the level of twitch and again, the playing the game between the ears at that slot position. But there's also, with Christian Kirk, a level of explosiveness that you don't typically find in your true slot wide receivers, and so our true slot receivers. So I do think there is several fronts with this football team where Christian Kirk could come up huge.
Yeah, I'm completely with you on that. So Christian Kirk, I see some other people talk. My man said Gardner Johnson, Kirk, and he thinks Darrell Taylor is slept on, is what Kick Rocks had to say. So some of the guys that you think that are free agents have a chance to not just have a chance, but guys you're watching as we enter training.